About 20 minutes ago, someone called my home at my residence, and they basically told me I need to watch my back, that they're going to kick my ass and all this kind of stuff. What they did not realize, what many people out there don't realize whenever they call my residence, is I have my phone plugged into an electronic device that actually tells me where it is that they are located via Google Map by the inch. I can literally look at Google satellites and maps and sit there and zoom down and be able to see where someone is. Do I think that that's evil? Do I think that it's wrong? No. I put my information out there for people to be able to call me. I don't think that doxing myself or telling you my real name, Brett Keene, is a bad thing. I understood when putting my phone out there that I was going to receive some bad calls. But I also warned people ahead of time, if you call me, be civilized, be respectful, be decent. Paul's ego, he found out whenever he called me several times, he figured I wouldn't be able to contact him back. But I was able to. It even told me exactly where the location was. Will I be using any of this personal information and spreading it all over the web like atheists have done me? Will I sit there and try to use it to cause people to get hurt or go through some kind of pain? No. Because I think that trying to harm people or cause some kind of physical problem or threatening to kill or destroy people is wrong. But it doesn't stop guys like Atheism Unstoppable, Devin, who has sat there and put people's docs out there with the full motivation and intention of trying to screw them up. It did not stop the Witch nor Thunderfoot from screwing with each other's job, their own employment. Non-believers are on the net doing these kind of things to each other every single day. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. I have the information of many Christians out there, Muslims, pagans, Jews, as well as atheists. And I have never sat there with any kind of intention of harming or causing anybody any kind of trouble. But I do this in order to protect myself against the psychopaths out there, the sociopaths out there, those who get gratification from harming other people. When someone calls a residence, it's not the internet any longer. Now you are reaching out to someone's home, and that is considered a criminal act. Anybody and everybody at any time can call me. Just don't be an asshole. A week and a half ago, somebody called me up and threatened to do some shit to my kids. So I call up, and it just so happens that this young man who called me, his father picks up the phone. I describe to the father what it is that his son did, and I play back the recording of what I got, because every call is recorded. The father, I sat there with the displeasure of listening to the background of the father pounding the young man into the dirt. Literally beating his ass, telling him that he's stupid, he's retarded for calling up and doing that to people that he doesn't even know. The sad thing was that he was a fan of the drunken peasants, so like a blind, mindless zombie sheep, he felt like he was going to do something impressive because the Amazing Atheist made my phone number public to a huge audience out there. I watch atheists every day drop docs on each other. They call up each other's jobs, they send emails, they try everything they can to ruin each other's status and their position. Yet at the same time, they will sit there and make videos calling me a dox dropper whenever they themselves have been caught doing it. Isn't that odd? I also, just if you don't mind, I'd like to dispel some rumors about some things too. There's atheists out there that have accused me of plagiarism. I have books that have been selling for almost 15 to 20 years now on Barnes & Noble's, Amazon, and many book outlets out there. Never once have I went to court or been charged for any kind of plagiarism, yet atheists accuse me of such. Atheists also accuse me of domestic abuse to my wife. I've been married for 20 years. My wife and I are compatible, loving, wonderful people. My wife has actually been on video with me. My wife has actually spoken out about this kind of crap. which we shouldn't have even had to waste our time or even prove ourselves in the first place. But there was one thing always, while I was going through these scenarios, that bothered me. The fact that atheists, when they made videos or cartoons or animations, even on the Drunken Peasants, they laugh about domestic abuse. They think it's funny. As where I am what you refer to as an egalitarian, where I support the rights of women and men. I do not want any woman or man out there to suffer in any kind of way. Unless they are an evil, cruel, terrible person, I believe that anyone who is evil deserves to be punished by God or by man's law, whatever is required. Why would someone, if someone actually believed that I was this heinous monster that they accused me of being, then why not call the police? If I find out that there's some atheist out there threatening to kill people or harm people, or they're beating up their girlfriend or their dad or their mom or doing something horrible to another human being, I would call the fucking police. I wouldn't make a public video sitting there talking about this kind of shit. I wouldn't sit there and talk about what the person's doing as a criminal act. Unless, of course, I'm doing a video to warn people in the future not to commit criminal acts, which is what I'm doing right now. So why? Be honest with me, ladies and gentlemen. If you knew that someone out there on the internet was a pedophile, a kid toucher, or you knew that someone was violent and they were sitting there pounding on their own relatives, wouldn't you call the police? I call the police every time I get a threat. I call the police every time I think somebody's doing wrong. In fact, there's been quite a few atheists out there who have publicly stated that they were going to kill themselves, like Mr. Repsian and Take Shot. These type of guys. There was a few people in the past that sat there said they were going to kill themselves. I called the police immediately and I had them stop. Some of them were able to get help. Unfortunately, others later on, atheists, ended up killing themselves. But I did everything I could to stop the act of this atrocity of a person removing their own existence. So do I think that doxing is wrong? Do I think that sitting there knowing somebody's real name or their information is incorrect? Only if you have ill will. Only if you have the intention of harming the person or encouraging an audience to go out and hurt somebody. There's only one time that I've ever posted information on the internet, and atheists have made a big deal out of it for 10 years. Whenever a company site decided to put pictures of my children and my family up on their popular website, including my home address and all my information, I contacted the hosting company. I asked them to do something about it. I contacted the law. They didn't do anything about it. So I ended up telling people what the company's name was and where it was located. Other people out there claim that it was a home address. As far as I was concerned, according to Who Is Search, it was a business information. Just like if you were to state, where is McDonald's located in your area? Where is the Walmart of your particular location? If you gave the address to Walmart or McDonald's, would it sit there and cause you to be a negative person or bad by simply giving directions to a particular business out there that is publicly known that people buy and sell all the time? No. But we all know that the atheists out there who do this kind of shit, they have intentions of causing you to lose your job. They have intentions of sitting there getting you hurt. They have the intention of doing it to intimidate and cause all kinds of trouble. I've been here for 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, and I haven't seen the inside of the cell. But a lot of these atheists out there, you've committed crimes, you've done a lot of wrong, and then you try to sit there and intimidate people by acting like you know something about them that other people don't, that you want to share with the world. Well, that's my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just dispelling some of the rumors. There's one more thing I want to add before I cut this off. The other thing is, a lot of atheists out there, especially through the drunken pissants, like to say things like, Brett Keane, why don't you leave YouTube? Everybody hates you. No, everybody does not hate me. Most Christians, a majority of Muslims and Jews and pagans and deists and even some agnostics out there And people like Buddhists and even Satan worshipers out there have stated that they respect me, they dig me, they enjoy hanging out with me. I've got a majority of friends, probably more than half the damn assholes out there who run their mouth. I'm quite popular. I am considered internet famous, not by my own words, but by people in their own mouth, self-proclaimed. So, it's only a small handful of atheists who run their mouth and lie like that. And just because people don't like you anyway, why should you be shut up? Why should you stop interacting in social media just because people are bitching? If that kind of logic worked, half of the people like Martin Luther King or Howard Stern or all these people should have quit a long time ago. You dumb fucking Muppets. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to Brett Keane from God TV Radio. If you'd like to socialize with me sometime, you can hang out with me and chat. My link to my live broadcast is in there, and you can see when the next show is scheduled. Peace out.